is Michael Williams, and I'll be presenting my deep listening interview. Pierce Burns is one of my lifelong friends, and I look at him as a brother. We went to high school together, and he ended up going to Rollins and graduating as well. During his time at Rollins, he ended up starting a site development company called Tropic Tracks. He expressed to me right off the bat during the interview that two of the biggest pieces of his organization are communication and listening skills. He tells me his initial struggle within the industry and his business was the language barrier with his employees. He said for the first 1.5 to 2 years, he was using nonverbal communication and body language to kind of explain many of the jobs or things that he was asking his guys to do and that his guys were asking of him. He realized about 1.5 years into it that this wasn't going to work, and he needed to fully learn Spanish in order to fully communicate with his guys and find success in the future. He was able to learn Spanish by taking classes on his own, as well as being an active listener with his employees on the job sites and outside of work. He told me that without communication on these job sites and demo jobs that he does, the results can be fatal. They're dealing with heavy machinery and large buildings collapsing, and in order to mitigate these issues, he talked about how important it is that they are able to clearly communicate to each other throughout the entire process. He expressed to me that one of the lifelong lessons he learned was from his high school water polo coach. He said his coach told him that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, meaning we should listen before we speak. But he also understood the presence of having 2 ears, meaning that listening is the most important facet of life. Through this, he's been able to take this lesson from his coach and apply it to his personal life and business life. He believes that being a lifelong active listener and not having selective listening traits has allowed him to learn from the best in the industry and as well those around him. Being able to communicate and fully listen to what his employees are expressing to him, as well as builders and others, he realizes it is a true key to success to go further. What was the biggest challenge within your business and organization?
So obviously challenges right off the top, communication is most important. So most of my employees are Spanish speaking, so I actually took some Spanish classes in order to communicate with them per Spanish. So every day we do a group collab, speak Spanish, understand what we need to do during the day, and make sure that the conversations are very clear and able to understand each other.
If you don't have good communication on the job site, what could be some of the outcomes?
So first off my mind would be safety. We do a lot of demolition, and we need to be able to talk back and forth very clearly. We use two-way radios and to make sure the job goes right.
Before we get to the questions, I just wanted to wrap up with Pierce's call to action. His call to action is to continue listening before speaking, but always listening to understand and listening with humility. He hopes to continue to teach this to his team and those around him and continue to find success in the years to come.